So I'm going to give you a little bit of background information about each of the different clans that are in Arkon and some little known information. So let's get started. Starting off with the Orcs, they are an extremely proud clan within the game. They have superior power, great tactical presence, and they love cross-stitch. Next up, the Dwarves. The Dwarves with their mighty and stout, powerful bodies and their superior weapon and metalworking skills. Surprisingly, they love a nice chai tea latte along with their usual lagers and ales. Next up are the Elves with their super high intellect and stealthy nature. Now, some people might think that the Elves are the hipster clan of the bunch, and they're right because they are. And lastly, we have the Human clan, and of course the Human clan is a little bit average over everything. They're okay at battle, they're okay at metalworking, and they're okay at being hipsters. But of course, one of the easiest ways to recruit them is to offer them a plate of cookies. So now let's go into today's game, all about recruiting these different clans onto your side to try to win. This is Arkon. As I stated in the intro of the game, the object of Arkon is to go ahead and recruit the different clans of the game onto your side. If you're able to recruit one of each of the other clans onto your side, you will win the game. Or if you're able to recruit 4 of one particular type of clan, you will then win the game as well. So obviously the different clans in the game are the ones that I mentioned before. We have the Orcs, the Dwarves, the Elves, and the Humans. So all of these cards will be shuffled into the main deck, and every player is going to get a hand of 5 cards. So once you've determined who the first player is, let's move the deck here, are going to take a look at the cards that they have in their hand, and they're going to go into the very first action phase. There are 2 action phases that is split up by a bidding phase. So this first action phase, they're going to go ahead and have a look at their cards here and decide what they want to play. So we have Shifting Alliances, which will allow you to choose a target opponent, exchange all of your clans in play with that player's clans. Each player must give cards at random from their current hand equal to the number of clans taken from their opponents. Well, in the beginning of the game, I can't play this because nobody has any clans out, so that wouldn't do me any good here. We have an elf here. We have a human here who we're trying to recruit. We have Change of Fate. So Change of Fate allows us to discard up to 2 cards and then draw cards equal to the amount of cards discarded plus 1. So you have a choice to discard 0, 1, or 2 cards, and then you get to draw some cards. And then Tactical Reversal. And what Tactical Reversal gets to do is you can play in response to an opponent's action card. When that card will be placed into the discard pile, place it into your hand instead. Now if you look at the bottom of each of the cards here, they tell you when those cards can be played and what type of cards they are. So for example, this Tactical Reversal card is a response card, but it can also be played as Influence. And the influence number is this top number that is here in the top corner. So Tactical Reversal has an influence value of 2. And as you can see, the human has an influence value of 2. The elf has an influence value of 2. And then they do have an ability down here, and these abilities only happen when you have this card on your side because it is a clan card, unless you're playing it as Influence. And lastly, we have this Shifting Alliances, which is good for us as an action card. You can play that as an action during the action phase, or it's also a counter card or Influence. Now, to use a card as a counter card is if I played Shifting Alliance on my, or Shifting Allegiances on my turn, If somebody else had shifting allegiances, they could play it, and that would cancel the effect of this card, and both cards would go into the discard pile. So, what I'm going to do first here is I'm actually going to go ahead and I'm going to play Change of Fate. So I want to discard up to two cards and draw some cards. So I'm going to play that. Give everybody an opportunity to counter it if they want to. So if they have a Change of Fate, they can play that to cancel that out. Nobody has done so. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to discard this Shifting Allegiances because it's doing me no good in the beginning of the game. So I'll go ahead and discard that one card, and I'll get to draw two cards. So I have a human and I have another Tactical Reversal. Very interesting. Okay, so I'm going to say I am done with my first action phase. If I wanted to, I can continue to play cards if I had cards I was able to play, but I'm going to say, yeah, I'm done with my first action phase. So now you go on to a bidding phase. If you happen to have a clan in your hand, so I have two humans and an elf, so if you want to, you can go ahead and put one of your clans up for bidding. So I'm going to say, everybody, I have a human that I want to put up for bid. And the reason I'm putting my human up for bid because I already have another human in my hand, so I'm going to try to get that human as well, and that'll put me halfway towards my goal of having 4 humans out to win. So I will go ahead and put that human out for bidding. So now what we need to decide is everybody around the table is going to choose cards from their hand to use as influence. So only the numbers in the top corner are going to matter. And you're going to place cards face down, and then you're all going to flip over and then see who has the most influence, and they will win this clan. Now whoever put the clan up for bid automatically starts off with 2 because you include the number that's on the card that you put out. So every clan has an influence value of 2. So because I put it out, I already have 2 to begin with. And I think I need to buffer that, so I'm going to add in this Tactical Reversal. So I'm going to place that face down. And then my opponents are going to go ahead and go in clockwise order and go ahead and put out cards. They don't have to put out any if they don't want to, but they can see that I placed out 1 card out in addition to my 2 that I already have on there. So let's just say we have another opponent, and they're going to place out 2 cards here because they don't know what I put out, and they think they might want those humans on their side. So once you get back to the first player, you go ahead and reveal all of the bids. And of course, remember, I have 2 plus the 2 that's already on the human, so I have 4 on my side. And then my opponent, we flip over these cards here, and they played a Change of Fate and an Orc, so they have a total of 3. So 4 is higher than 3. Because I won the bid, all the cards I used to bid go into the discard pile, and then I'll get the human onto my side. If you did not win the bid, you get to take these cards back into your hand. So now that I have the human on my side, I can go ahead and continue the bidding phase if I wanted to, and I could place this other human up for bid. But now I kind of know what some of the cards are that my opponent has. So I have to decide if I want to risk that or continue on. Now I don't have that many cards here to add in, and I might want to start drawing some cards later on. So I'm going to go ahead and stop my bidding phase there. So we go on to this next action phase and decide what cards we want to play. Well, I don't have any cards right now that'll benefit me in playing anything. I have a response card, which isn't going to do anything, and I can't put anything else up for auction since I'm out of the bidding phase. So I'm going to go ahead and forego my second action phase. So last up is the universal draw phase. So at the end of your turn, if you put up at least 1 clan for bid, you get to draw a card. You didn't have to win the bid, but if you put something up for bid, you will get to draw a card. So you will draw a card there, and then everybody, starting with the player whose turn it is, and you go around, clockwise around the table, they all get to draw a card as well. So, as long as you put something up for bid, you get to draw 2 cards every turn. So it looks like I drew 2 Change of Fates which is pretty interesting. So let me show you some of the other cards that are in the deck that are pretty interesting. So we have this Negotiation. Now this card can only be used as influence, but the fantastic thing about it is that it is 8. So you can place this one card down and use it as influence. Another card here is Sabotage. And what Sabotage says is you play in response to a player winning the bid. That player must pay exactly 3 influence or you gain control of the card, and that player still has to discard their bid cards. So basically you'll play the Sabotage card and they'll have to basically add 3 to their bid. If they're unable to add exactly 3 to their bid, well, unfortunately, you get that card and they're still out the cards that they used for the initial bidding round. Now, what's also interesting about this is Sabotage is a 0 value card. So you could use this card to actually pump up what other people are bidding. So you could place this down along with some other cards or by itself and have people thinking that you really want the clan that's up for bid. That is some interesting stuff that you can do. Now, throughout the game, as you gain the different clans into your area, they will all also contribute to the bidding phase. So, let's just say here that we are now all bidding on this orc that is out. Now, on my side here, I have 2 humans and this 1 elf, and if you look at the bottom of them, each of them says it will add 1 to your bid if you control this clan. So we have 3 cards out here, so our bid is already 3. If we were the ones who put this out, we gained the extra 2, so we could have a 5 on our side without even playing any cards. Then you'll play cards and try to manipulate and try to win these cards. And again, once you receive 4 of one type of clan, or once you have 1 of each different type of clan out in your area, also you can have a little bit of a mixture of both, but once you have either one of those conditions, you are the winner of Arkin.
Punchboard Media, where we all
bring something
to the table.
Pull up a chair
At punchboardmedia.com.
So that was a brief overview of Arkin. Now, I have enjoyed Arkin while it has been on my table. I have enjoyed it as a 2-player game as well as a game with higher player counts. It is pretty interesting, even with a smaller game, how that negotiation works and trying to remember what your opponents have in their deck. So you're trying to remember, do they have enough cards, or are you just going to let cards slide off into your opponent? And also counting the cards is something that is a little bit crucial, because in the version that I have, I don't know if this is going to be changed or not, but there are 4 of every type of card. So you can kind of count the different cards that are out and the different clans that are out and know how many are still going to come out. And if somebody's stacking up on dwarves and you have 1 dwarf in your hand, or they're kind of split amongst the table, you can kind of play that to your advantage and try to figure out how to get what you need onto your side or prevent somebody else from gaining that last clan that they need to win. So I do see this game actually hitting my table in the future as game nights come around. So if this looks like something that you would enjoy, down below I'm going to have a link for their Kickstarter as soon as that is available. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Please do not forget to like, share, subscribe, and help support Cloak and Meeple. There was the card, no, it should be right up there. There was the card that was right up there. It'll take you right to the Patreon, and on my next screen you'll have a link right to the Patreon page, as well as my subscribe link, and don't forget to hit that bell icon down below so you know whenever I post a brand new video. And thanks for watching.